This is breaking news from WCCO.
Hello, everyone. Right now, Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey has taken the podium to update us on the investigation into the death of George Floyd. Let's listen in.
Mayors can shape events in their city, but more often than not, it's events in our city that shape us. There are precedents and protocols sitting in the reserves of institutions just like this one that will give you about 1,000 reasons not to do something, not to speak out, not to act so quickly. And I've wrestled with, more than anything else over the last 36 hours, one fundamental question. Why is the man who killed George Floyd not in jail? If you had done it, or I had done it, we would be behind bars right now. And I cannot come up with a good answer to that question. And so I'm calling on Hennepin County Attorney Mike Freeman to act on the evidence before him. I'm calling on him to charge the arresting officer in this case. We cannot turn a blind eye. It is on us as leaders to see this for what it is and call it what it is. George Floyd deserves justice. His family deserves justice. The black community deserves justice. And our city deserves justice. I'll stand for any questions.
What about the other officers? The one
I'm sorry, say it one more time.
you said the officer who killed him. What about the other three?
The evidence that I have before me right now, which I hesitate to speak on in depth, given the fact that I ultimately want a charging decision to move forward, is somewhat limited to the video evidence that is there. And I do not want to get into the fundamentals of different classifications of murder. I do not want to get into the fundamentals of any one specific charge for any one individual. What I can say with certainty, based on what I saw, is that the individual, the officer who had his knee on the neck of George Floyd should be charged. And I'm calling on Hennepin County Attorney to do that.
Do you want to wait this? Hey, Mayor, can we just pause for 1 second? Is the audio okay on the live stream? Okay, all right. Do you want to wait? I mean, do you need to see the cause of death? We don't have a public cause of death at this point. He died an hour after the incident. Do you need to, obviously, by saying what you are, you don't need to wait, but could you explain why that's not important in making a criminal charging decision?
I'm not going to weigh in on the evidence. I know there's clearly more evidence to come, but I will say that based on what I saw in the video, this is the decision that I am making, obviously as not a prosecutor myself.
Have you talked to Mike Freeman? Is he open to this idea?
I have relayed my call to action to the Hennepin County Attorney, Mike Freeman, yes.
What do you want to see this officer charged with specifically?
You know, I want to see a charge take place. I want to see justice for George Floyd, and me commenting on either the evidence, obviously much of which is not out yet, and or a specific charge would inhibit that measure. So again, I want to see the charge of the arresting officer take place, but if we want to see that charge, it would not be wise for me to provide the specifics of a form of murder.
And Mayor, would you just repeat the question?
Yes, I will. My apologies.
Mayor, multiple council members have raised questions about the way police reacted to the protests last night. Where were you during those protests, and what role did you play in determining how police responded to them?
Thank you for the question. The question from Liz was, what role did I play in responding to the protests that were occurring last night? And I'd like to speak a little more broadly about this as well. So right now, more than ever, I get the need to protest. I fully understand and appreciate it. People need a way to vent, especially in a time of so much sorrow and anger. And I'm not a parent yet, but I will be soon. And I can't begin to grasp the mix of emotions, of anger, of sadness that so many parents of black children have through our city, and what they must feel in putting their child to bed. Without knowing what cards they will be dealt and not knowing how their safety might be put at risk. And nobody out there will fight harder for the First Amendment protections and freedom of speech than I will. Nobody will fight harder for those rights to protest than I will. But those rights, they must stop when others' public safety are put at risk. The cars and the buildings that were broken into in some form had live guns and ammo in them. And I spoke with our Chief Arredondo last night, who is an exceptional leader in our black community and known as an exceptional chief nationwide. And he told me that he could not run the risk of one tragedy leading to another.